What's up, gang? What's going on? It is another Mental Man Monday live stream, and this is Thanksgiving week. Thanksgiving is on Thursday, and we also are now starting our new series, Social Media and You, which will be a 6-part series. Yeah, 6 parts into the season series, and then we'll come back to season 10 in sometime next year. But the last episode is going to end on January 1st, and we got a great lineup of guys. I think all guys for this. Yeah, it is all guys. And we're going to get into some conversations and some dialogue, which is always good. Few topics we're going to talk about tonight. One of them, I know you see the title, Nicki Minaj. This is the Mental Man Monday live stream. When did you start talking about women? It's something I really want to speak on with that. And we'll get to that in a minute. But okay, so first let's talk about the first topic today, which obviously is recapping the most recent episode of the podcast, which is did God say you that? Did God say that, or does it just make sense? And basically, that episode was just inspired by a lot of conversations that I've been having about purpose. One, even an argument inspired it, and just the thought of like, we really believe that, you know, a lot of times we do things, and this was said in the episode, we do things that make sense to us, right? And when it makes sense to us, a lot of times we take God out of it. Now, of course, you know, as I'm growing definitely in my faith and just in things, I've just learned that a lot of times when it starts making too much sense, you allow a God can't really. Not that he can't move, he's God, but like sometimes we limit him because we're trying to make it make sense. We're trying to make it like this. It got to look like this. It got to be like this. And that's not how it's always going to be. And a lot of times we get stuck in just going in the same cycles. And so I wanted this episode to just highlight that, to show that, to really unpack that, you know, going into sometimes we have to have to redo lessons because we didn't get it the first time, you know, things like that. It's just so many things to keep in mind when these types of things come up. And I thought it was another good solo episode, just highlighting, you know, just so many, the links talk about the vintage and how he sold all his shoes, and, you know, just the verses we unpacked and the sources we unpacked, and sometimes, you know, and then of course I didn't go all the way in, but they talk about obedience, and, you know, like, you know, half obedience is, you know, it's still disobedience. And it can be hard to do, but I'm believing a lot of times, I've heard so many stories of streamers and people I just know personally about how they got fired from jobs out of nowhere. And like I said, I don't want people to always think that I'm just against people having a job, or, oh, everybody don't need to be at a job. That's not what I'm saying. Because I hear that a lot of, oh, you think my job is lame, and that's why you talking about it. It's like, it's not even that. It's just we get caught up in settling. And I forgot his name, but he's host of the Eggs and Grits podcast, or something like that. He made a clip that I saw that was going viral, talking about how he was like, an ambitious person will always look like they are never satisfied, something to that extent. Because a lot of times I know how I come off to people, you know, especially people who are okay with settling. They feel as though, oh, you want too much, or, oh, you just want too much, or you're never satisfied, and nothing is ever enough. And it's like, that's not the case. But when you know you're called to more, you'll never be okay with just the bare minimum. You'll never be okay with the ceiling when you aim for the stars. And that's a bar. And I'm going to just leave that at that. So if you haven't streamed the most recent episode, go check it out. Some good clips and a lot of good stuff that y'all should see. Now, it's just me today, so I won't be before you long. The first thing we're going to speak on is the Epstein files. Apparently, they have agreed to release them. Let's look at this. This is complimentary of the Shade Room. It says the U.S. House approves the release of the Epstein files in a nearly unanimous vote.
On this vote, the yeas are 427, the nays are 1. 2/3 being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended, the bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
It says, I have been principal known this bill from the beginning. What was wrong with the bill 3 months ago is still wrong today. The ban is 250 years of criminal justice procedure in America. As written, the bill reveals, this is from Clay Higgins, and reveals the injuries, thousands of innocent people, witnesses, people who provided alibis, family members. If enacted in its current form, this type of broad reveal of criminal investigation file released to a rabid media will absolutely result in innocent people being hurt, not by my vote. The Oversight of the Committee is conducting a thorough investigation that's already released well over 60,000 pages of documents from the Epstein case. That effort will continue in a manner that provides all due protections for innocent Americans. If the Senate amends the bill to properly address privacy of victims and other Americans who are named but not criminally implicated, then I will vote for that bill when it comes back to the House. So basically, he said on Monday he would sign the bill into law if it reached the desk. Many Democrats and Capitol are skeptical about the sincerity of his support, given his earlier strong resistance. Scrubbed clean. Nobody wants them fake Epstein files y'all about to release. We want the unedited files, the raw and uncut. All of a sudden, change of heart. They got rid of all the T first, though. They removed Trump's name as Y after they were altered and fixed because why all of a sudden. All right. So it's definitely interesting. Let's get into what does this have to do with mental health? The study of how we act, think, and feel, right? And there's so many definitions of that, but they're still all in that form. You know, it is interesting that they want to release this now. It's just kind of like, why now? You know, why apologize now? I ain't gonna go there with y'all today. But like, why now? What's going on that we don't know about? They should have been released it. And it just seems too like why all these people are in agreement to release them. Why didn't this release when he was in jail before he unalived himself? Why now? Then the fact that he voted no, I don't know. I in a weird way, I believe that I get what he's saying, that basically a lot of innocent people will get hurt. So I guess that they feel like if we release all of these files now, it's going all them people who probably helped to protect these people and it was helped to get the word out and help to do this and the third to help us, that people will hurt them because they snitching. So he's saying he's doing it to save people. Do I believe him? I don't know what to believe. I'm just being honest. I don't know what to believe. It's just gonna be real. WWID, what would I do in this situation? So if he is serious about him trying to protect innocent people, that's what he's saying, right? Well, he want to protect innocent people, then okay. But in the case of the Epstein files in general, I just feel as though if it was up to me, if I could have released them back then, but like the people in the comments were saying, they probably are going to edit the files and just give you a edited version. What else had came out before and it was like, this is clear, they said this is the real thing, but it's clear it was like the edited version? I can't remember what it was, and hopefully somebody remind me of it or it'll jump to my memory. I think that they want to, you know, it's a conspiracy theory, but what else are they trying to hide? So why are they releasing this, and then what else are they trying to hide? I mean, obviously they're gonna edit the files. We're gonna say allegedly they're going to edit the files. But what else is going on that they're trying to cover up right now? That's what I want to know. And this is going to be great for the social media conspiracy episode. But what else are they trying to cover up? What would Jesus do? Well, Jesus would tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But if there's a way you can protect innocent people, if that was his reason, only he knows. Clay Higgins only knows his reason. So if that was his reason, then cool. But I just feel like there's something that's being left out. Most times that's just something you're not saying. But again, only time will tell. And what should men do in this situation? If you're in a situation where you can save innocent lives, always do so. But, you know, again, their information should have been out. The fact that it's just not coming out, it's just the timing is weird. You know, after that 40-day, I think the longest shutdown, was that the longest shutdown ever? The government shutdown, that was 40 days. Interesting number. And somebody said they're trying to wipe Donald Trump name out of it. Listen, I don't know. But they really about to edit these files, just know they about to be working around the clock. So keep that in mind. All right, y'all. For the final conversation today, we're going to talk about Nicki Minaj. So she spoke at the UN, and she spoke against Christians being terminated, persecuted in the Christians being terminated and persecuted in Nigeria. And a lot of people had a problem with this. We're gonna watch some of the her speech. We're not gonna watch all of it because I'm gonna just have some things I'm gonna say periodically. So let's open it up and get going.
Hello, everyone. I must say I am very nervous, so please, well, thank you, Ambassador Waltz, for this invitation. It is an honor to stand on this stage with you and the other distinguished speakers here today to shine a spotlight on the deadly threat faced by thousands of Christians in Nigeria. I would like to thank President Trump for prioritizing this issue and for his leadership on the global stage and calling for urgent action to defend Christians in Nigeria, to combat extremism, and to bring a stop to violence against those who simply want to exercise their natural right to freedom of religion or belief.
So I don't know if y'all knew, but Christians are being persecuted by Muslims in Nigeria. They starting to kind of tell it now, but they were just saying this is a topic that's been out, but not out as much. And Donald Trump is really against the Christians being persecuted in Nigeria. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of skip around.
Religious freedom means we all can sing our faith regardless of who we are, where we live, and what we believe. But today, faith is under attack in way too many places. In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed. Churches have been burned. Families have been torn apart, and entire communities live in fear constantly, simply because of how they pray. Sadly, this problem is not only a growing problem in Nigeria, but also in so many other countries across the world, and it demands urgent action. And I want to be clear, protecting Christians in Nigeria is not about taking sides or dividing people. It is about uniting humanity. Nigeria is a beautiful nation with deep faith traditions and lots of beautiful barbs that I can't wait to see. When one's church,
You just had to say that.
mosque, or place of worship is destroyed, everyone's heart should break just a little bit. And the foundation of the United Nations, with its core mandate to ensure peace and security, should shake. I am joined here today by peace builders, by Barbs. I know you're somewhere listening. I love you so very much. You have been the ultimate light in my life and career for so long.
Okay, we're gonna stop it there. Y'all can watch the whole thing when you get a chance, but I don't think I want to get copyrighted either. All right, so now let's jump into what does this have to do with mental health, the study of how we act, think, and feel. So with Nicki Minaj, that's the main thing. Of all people speaking out against this is wild. In my opinion, now how's it again? What does this have to do with me? Because it's the Mental Man Monday live stream. How did y'all let a female rapper go out her way and speak about this before y'all did as a man? Who has, because there are many other people that could have been speaking about this, but Nicki Minaj of all people, y'all let Nicki Minaj go beat y'all to speaking about this. This is my issue. People hate the president so much, right? You know, everybody unfollowing her, bringing up her old songs. That one where she was like, Island Girl, Donald Trump, want me to go home. And now you over here speaking with Donald Trump and thanking him. First of all, do you like your boss? Are you still respectful to your boss? If you have opportunity to speak on something or something you're passionate about, would you not do it because, well, I don't like my boss? Would you, hypothetically, if you got to, if Donald Trump called you to come speak at some for say you were passionate about domestic violence, or say you were passionate about, you know, maybe foster cares or foster children or something like that, because these are things that you were a part of, you wouldn't go speak on it because, well, Donald Trump over, so I'm not going to speak on it. When you have opportunity to speak to, you know, hundreds of thousands of people are going to see this because you're there, and you're not going to do it because Donald Trump. Like, why don't we can we just not like somebody and still get the job done? Because like I said, you do it at work every day. So I don't get that. Like, you cannot support a president, may not like them, may not like the things they do, but some of the things that he does speak on, I think that are good, and people are afraid to say that publicly because they don't want to get canceled. Me, I don't care. But, and I'm gonna break more down in the politics episode. So it's politics and conspiracy, and hinting at both, huh? With social media, but it's just like y'all really, I don't know. I just think it's childish. I think it's childish. I really do. And yeah, WWID. What would I do in this situation? I don't care who's in charge. If hypothetically, okay, so I'm a believer, right? If a Buddhist was running an organization and they called me to come speak, and I was able to voice my concerns freely without having to hold back what I believe in, whatever that is, and whatever I'm speaking on, I get the logic of you shouldn't go to every door that you're offered, and it is a slippery slope, and there's different examples. But in the same breath, if you are preaching something that you stand for, you could be doing way more good than bad. And I think sometimes people get caught up in, they just let their emotions get the best of them. And I don't know. I was in that situation, was able to speak up for something without fear or shame. I mean, and then my thing is, a lot of y'all won't even, y'all talking about her speaking up. She spoke up for what she believed in. Y'all won't even speak up in y'all friend group. Y'all won't even speak up in freaking, somebody messed your order up and you won't even speak up. So everybody's shaming her for that. I just think it's childish. And like I said, you might not agree with her, and she might have been, going on, spiraling out of control lately. But what she's speaking on is something important. And the fact that so many people cancel her or trying to cancel her for that is stupid to me. It's kind of going back to the whole Nelly thing when everybody tried to cancel Nelly for performing. I think this is a lot more serious, and this is something actually, that was just a performance. This is actually something, but it's just like, come on, y'all. What we doing? What would Jesus do? Speak out. Flip tables. Not be scary. Not hold their tongue because, well, I don't like the president, so I ain't doing that, or, oh, I can't do that. If you're going somewhere to speak on what you believe in and what's right and what's wrong, these people are getting persecuted and unalived because they are choosing not to become a Muslim. And it's like she even stated, David, this is happening in a lot of different countries. This is not just happening in Nigeria. This has been happening in different forms of Asia for a while. And eventually people are conspiracy. This is probably good. This is going to be happening in America. People don't want to believe that, but it will. So I don't know. WSMD, what she may do in this situation? She ain't a man, but again, she outmanned a lot of y'all. And like in them raps, when she be basically saying she be trying to make, now she don't call herself a man, but just kind of putting herself on some of these pedestals and outdoing men in some of these raps. She outdoing y'all in politics now. She had the cojones to speak up, and y'all didn't. That's a problem. Like I said, of all people, Nicki Minaj, y'all let Nicki Minaj speak at UN about the persecution of Christians in Nigeria, and y'all won't even tweet about it. Y'all friends bring it up, and y'all and you in groups, and y'all change the subject. Y'all let Nicki Minaj outdo y'all. And she can being put on another list of outdoing somebody. There's another time she outdid somebody else. All right, y'all. Real quick today, in and out. It's the holiday week. I want y'all to enjoy yourselves, and this was a quick, little time. This week's episode is the first part of the Social Media and Youth series, Social Media and Mental Health, featuring Dr. Will with a therapist on Instagram, based out of Houston. Goes to my church. We've known each other for a while. We've been trying to get this going for a minute, and we finally did. So this episode will drop this Thursday about mental health, how it affects, why people play the role, fall into the role, all that good stuff. So tune in Thursday. On Thanksgiving Thursday. It's a little shorter than normal because I want y'all to eat y'all turkey. And I'm actually going to drop it a little earlier too. So that's it, y'all. Tune in. No live stream next week because I'm going to be out of town and I'm not really going to have the space to do the live stream. So yeah, but following Monday, we'll be back. But tune in Thursday. PSA signing out. Always remember, keep your head up like your neck hurt. Remember who you are. Make your mind up. Don't let it make you. And always remember, for real, I love us.